All right, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. And the first order item of business will be the approval of the agenda and the changes. And colleagues, you'll remember that we have several changes. So I'll just read through these so that we're in proper form here. First of all will be the consent agenda. We added 7.33 appropriation of District 1 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Pryor Middle School. 7.34 appropriation of District 2 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Pryor Middle School. 7.35 appropriation of District 3 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Pryor Middle School. 7.36 appropriation of District 4 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Pryor Middle School. And then 7.37 voluntary pre-kindergarten curriculum expansion reimbursement grant. We also have an item in Section 8, Superintendent's Human Resources Recommendations. We have deleted 8.7, an employee termination. And then I've added another item. This will be item 13.2. Colleagues, you'll remember that we talked briefly today about the appointment of a board member to serve on the RFP committee. And so we'll put that one down as 13.2. So those are the changes, and this time I'll call for a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move it.
Motion by Dr. Kelly.
Second. Or, go ahead.
Second by Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. That takes us now to Section 3, recognitions. 3.1, recognition of Okaloosa County STEM Academy for being nationally recognized as the Blue Ribbon School, presented by the Honorable City Councilman from Destin, Mr. Jim Bagby, on behalf of Congressman Matt Gaetz and Marcus Chambers, Superintendent of Schools. Superintendent?
Thank you, Dr. White. And I tell you, it is a blessing to see the STEM folks who are here tonight, and to be a national blue ribbon school. I think this board knows, and I know STEM knows, is not an easy feat. You know, it's one thing to get an honor from a school district, which is something to be proud of. It's another thing to receive an honor from the state of Florida, which is fantastic. But this is from the federal level. This is from the United States. So this is something to be extremely proud of. You look at this prestigious recognition. There's not many schools across the state of Florida, or the nation for that matter, who receives this type of a recognition. Matter of fact, STEM is one of only 13 schools in Florida to receive the recognition this year, and one of 353 schools in the nation to do this. And we all know, and STEM knows really well, it takes an amazing group of students, dedicated students, but it also takes, just as importantly, an amazing group of teachers, staff, administration, who give each and every day for these students. And then, of course, we can't forget the parents and the community. And STEM has done a great job wrapping their arms around students, not only at the school site, but bringing outside entities as well. So to have this honor, one of 13 schools in the state, one of 353 schools in the nation, that's something to be proud of. And for a school district, and I know our school board members will have some words in a few moments, and Dr. Martin, I know you'll have some words as well, but we could not be more proud. And we have with us Mr. Jim Bagby from Congressman Matt Gaetz' office, who was really impressed. They reached out right away once upon hearing of this and wanted to be a part of this recognition and make sure that they say congratulations. Mr. Bagby?
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. I don't know if I have to speak in this, but actually the congressman reached out to me. So on behalf of Congressman Gaetz, who wanted to actually be here, as he always reminds people, he is a product of Okaloosa County Schools, and a proud product of Okaloosa County Schools. He was just super excited. The superintendent gave you the numbers, but we just had the Congressional App Challenge a couple of weeks ago. We had teams from all over the district, 43 teams doing their apps, and the STEM Academy actually had a team of middle schoolers beat, I think, 41 or 42 of the other teams from high schools. That tells you the kind of talent that's at that school and in this district. And so on behalf of Congressman Gaetz, I am proud to present this to, where's Dr. Martin? She come up, there she is. And Mr. Superintendent, if you come up. And I won't read it to you, I won't make you go through the whole thing, but this was read into the congressional record. And so it will, on November the 6th, I think the day after he called me. So it will be,
Wow.
it will be in there forever. Thank you. Here you go.
Exceptional.
Yep.
And I have a team here.
Sure.
I would love to bring up at this time, this is such an honor to accept this recognition on behalf of this team. Our students are exceptional. We have a couple of them here this afternoon.
Yeah.
Our teachers, simply outstanding, hard-working individuals. Mr. Chambers mentioned our community just wrapped their arms, our parents wrapped their arms around to support our school at large. Mr. Chambers and his department, our district, helping to provide professional learning to our new teachers and continual learning to our veteran teachers. So that's what brings us to this caliber. I asked the students at the pep rally on Friday, where to next?
Yeah.
Number one middle school in the state of Florida, National Blue Ribbon School. We've got to go international now. So
Okay.
we'll see, I'll keep you guys posted.
Okay.
But team, STEM team, can I have you guys up,
Yeah.
please?
Come on up. Once you get in the middle of all this. You need a whole flag here.
They brought props.
Wow.
Miss Ingram, parents as well, please.
Yeah.
Mr. Rianga? We'll send you some of these. I know some of these. It's a team effort for sure.
Oh, somebody go on that side. Somebody go on that
Turn
side.
sideways, the turn. Oh, you can't, yeah.
All right, now we're looking good. All right, if you can't see the camera cannot see you.
Finally. I tried.
Buchanan. Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Conley.
Save your spot. Yeah, you thought you'd get away with it, didn't you?
Good try.
Take a bunch, everybody keep smiling. One more.
Congratulations. Very excited.
Thank you all, and thank you, Mr. Bagby. All right, so we'll go ahead and go to item 3.2. And let me just say, we have a public hearing, and we're compelled to kind of go by those times by law because it's advertised at 6:15. But we'll go ahead and try to get 3.2 in. And that will be the recognition of Fort Walton Beach High School's junior ROTC program on being the recipient of a $5,000 donation from Forever Warriors presented by Ms. Tiffany Arner, Forever Warriors. Would you come forward, Ms. Arner? Mr. Chambers, you have anything?
Can I say a little bit? Yeah? All right, guys. You guys can come up. Hello, everybody. My name's Tiffany Orner, third generation military, second generation female Air Force veteran, military spouse, 3 kids, 1 thinking Army, Navy, and then my second, 19. He's gonna fly. He's at an full ride ROTC scholarship
Wow.
in upstate New York to be a pilot in America's Air Force. So Forever Warriors is a private foundation that is stood up and funded by Step One Automotive Group. They gave me $500,000 this year to do God's work for our service members, past, present, and future. So I met with JROTC a few months ago and got to hear about all of the great things that they were doing and got invited to their Military Appreciation Day football game. During that meeting, I asked, what do you guys need? What's going on? And they're like, well, some funding, so all in, too easy. Our pillars are mental health, transition and sustainment, and community immersion. right? I'm not here to revert the wheel. I'm here to add value to the systems and programs already in place and support America's Next Military. One last fun fact, I served about just over 20 years ago. I'm only 27. But when I served, Air Force was well into 600,000 members strong. Now, just 300,000. Okay, and that's just our Air Force. So I want to thank you guys for your commitment to potentially, right, being America's next set of military members, and of course the leaders for doing what you do for the 100, right, JROTC babies at Fort Walton Beach High School. So with that said, here is a check for $5,000, guys. We don't bite. We're very loving. All right, here, let's hold it down. So there we go. Awesome. Wait, can you come in, ma'am? No, ma'am, See here. Oh, that's. Oh.
I'm gonna take a couple more pictures. If you, there we go. If y'all can go that way just a tad. Perfect. Right there. Awesome. Okay. Go. Couple. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call a brief recess for 2 minutes, and then we'll start the public hearing at 6:15. We're recessed. I'm showing 6:15. We'll go ahead and call into order the public hearing. This is item 15.1 on your agenda. Colleagues, you probably have already scrolled down there. So this is a public hearing for the adoption of Resolution 23-07, approving the proposed purchase and sale agreement of real property between the School Board of Okaloosa County, Florida, and the Okaloosa County Teachers Federal Credit Union, presented by Dr. Bill Smith, Program Director of Facilities Planning, and recommended by Superintendent Chambers for approval. And so, colleagues, there was a form distributed for disclosure of interest should you maybe have an account at the Teachers Credit Union, and we've secured an opinion regarding our role in the sale, and everything's good to go on that.
And it's my understanding that,
yes, sir.
with the exception of Mr. Bryant, each member does either have an account with the credit union as a member, and Ms. Ivanchik is a director as well. That's been cleared.
Okay, so we're all good to go on that. All right, but before we have a vote on this matter, we need to ask, is there anyone here from the public that would like to speak to item 15.1? Well, seeing none, we need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion, colleagues? Seeing no discussion, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So now we'll go to 15.2. Public hearing for the adoption of revised school board policies, Chapter 13, School Food Services, presented by Mr. Stephen Anderson, Program Director of Food Services, and recommended by Superintendent Chambers for approval. Is there anyone here tonight that would like to speak to this item? Well, that's the public hearing part. So now we need a motion.
So moved again.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
Second.
second by Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll close the public hearings and reconvene our regular meeting, and we'll go up all the way. Colleagues, you got ahead of me because you didn't have to do that. All right, so we're in section 4, administrative personnel appointments. 4.1, appointment of principal, Pryor Middle School, recommended by the superintendent for approval. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and School Board. I bring before you Mr. Jason McClellan. Mr. McClellan has worked in the Okaloosa County school system since 2005. He was hired by Dr. Kelly to work at Bruner Middle School to teach science in grades 6 through 8. In 2008, Mr. Spolsky approached Mr. McClellan to become the Dean of Students at Bruner Middle School. This began his journey down the road of administration. In 2011, he was hired as the assistant principal at Destin Middle School. This was a huge turning point in his life, not just because of the new opportunity, but because his wife, Tracy, was about to give birth to their beautiful daughter, Emma Grace. I did not know that information that was provided to me. In 2013, Mr. McClellan was given the opportunity to work at Niceville High School as the assistant principal. This was an experience that he will never forget. In 2015, Mr. McClellan took his first step into the principalship. He became the new principal at Mary Esther Elementary. For the last 7 years, he has been the proud leader of the Thunderbirds. For over 18 years, Mr. McClellan has worked with amazing people from the Okaloosa County School District. He has had the privilege of working with some of the best in the county and is honored to have had their support along this journey to where he is today. Mr. McClellan is a proud husband of Tracy McClellan and father of Emma. He knows he would not be who he is today without the love and support of both these amazing people. Mr. Jason McClellan.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. And so, colleagues, we need a motion to approve this recommendation.
I will be happy to make that motion.
Motion by Ms. Gardner.
Actually, I'm sorry. Never
No,
mind.
it's okay.
No, it's okay.
Motion by Ms. Gardner.
I'll second it.
Second by Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations.
Well, first I want to thank Superintendent Chambers and all of you for always being there for me. You guys have been amazing, and I'm just grateful for that support that you've always given me. Excited to begin working with the Pryor teachers, staff, students, parents, and community. I know I have big shoes to fill, but I do look forward to that task. It has been an amazing 7.5 years at Mary Esther Elementary. I've learned so much from each one of them there. So I want to thank my Thunderbird family for allowing me to be part of something special. I'll never forget the memories we made together. I told myself I'd do this. And then to my new Pryor family, I can't wait to meet everyone, and as a team, look forward to what we have ahead of us at Pryor. Also want to thank all the elementary principals that I've worked with over the 7 years. They've been amazing. I won't name them all, but they've been awesome. And then I have to thank the principals I've worked for, Dr. Kelly, Mr. Spolsky, and I think Mr. Palmer's back there. Each one has been a big influence in where I am today. And then my family, thanks to my mom for always giving me the support. And then obviously to my wife Tracy and daughter Emma, as you said, they have been amazing. They keep me smiling, and there's no words that I can express my deep thanks to them. So again, thank you all for allowing me to be the next principal at Pryor.
Good job. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Family come forward, Pryor family, those who are here to support Ms. McClellan, come forward.
Look at this swag.
I love this one. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Very much. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I was thinking something else. And
All right, so let's go ahead now and move to item 4.2, appointment of principal for Walton Beach High School, recommended by the superintendent for approval. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Dr. White and school board. And I just want to say at the beginning of this, I think it's amazing that our students here stayed for this next appointment, which is fantastic. And we do have a former principal, Ms. Cuvion, who's also in attendance tonight, the former principal of Fort Walton Beach High School. And I bring before you Ms. Lindsay Smith. Ms. Lindsay Smith is a proud product of the Okaloosa County School District. As a military child, she moved with her family over a dozen times throughout her youth, but settled in the area in 1995 when she attended Lewis Middle School, Meigs Middle School, and ultimately graduated from Choctawhatchee High School. That could be interesting. Mrs. Smith attended the Florida State University, majoring in secondary English education. In 2006, she joined the English department at Fort Walton Beach High School, and as a Viking, she taught 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade English at varying levels, as well as thinking skills and creative writing. She completed her master's degree in educational leadership at the University of West Florida in 2011. Mrs. Smith was selected to her first administrative job as assistant principal of Bruner Middle School. She was soon called back to serve Fort Walton Beach High School as an assistant principal in 2017. She has most recently led Lewis School as the principal since January 2021. Ms. Lindsay Smith is married to Chester Smith, who is also a proud product of the Okaloosa County school system and currently works as a civilian on base at Eglin and as a major in the United States Army Reserves. They have 2 children, Wyatt, who is 9, and Emma, who is 6. And Wyatt's pretty excited back there. Mrs. Smith is excited to rejoin the Viking family and is ready to passionately serve the Fort Walton Beach High School community, faculty, students, and staff. Ms. Lindsay Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. So I need a motion.
I will. Oh, no, go ahead.
I'll move it.
A motion by Dr. Kelly,
Second.
second by Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Congratulations. Please come forward.
Big day, guys. Sorry, I'm a little overwhelmed. School board members, Superintendent Chambers, senior staff, thank you for your confidence in me. This marks a professional dream realized. And the gravity of this position is not lost on me. I thank each of you for your continued support as I've navigated through my years in Okaloosa County Schools. I am grateful for the leaders who have helped to shape who I have become as an educator. Many of those people are in this room today. And I'm thankful for what they saw in me and for their unwavering encouragement. To my Falcon family, thank you for being some of the most creative, kind, and knowledgeable professionals I have ever had the opportunity to work with. Your commitment to your students is amazing to watch. And I have learned from each and every one of you. I'm honored to have served Lewis School for the last 2 years. To my own family, near and far, I could not do this work without you and your support every day. Thank you for believing in me, encouraging me every step of the way, and supporting my dreams. Chester, Wyatt, and Emma, you sacrificed more than anyone. Thank you, and I love you. I know it isn't lost on anyone that this is a homecoming. My Viking family and community have been with me from the beginning as a first-year teacher, as I navigated into administration, and have helped to mold the leader that I am now. I am thrilled to be returning to the fort, and I'm excited to begin this new chapter. Go Vikings! I got through it, sir.
Family, come forward, and we're going to try to
Squeeze them in. Let's do it.
Forward. So come on forward, those who want to be in the picture.
Guys, these are all pictures of me. Yes, they are. Kneeling. Our folks in here, y'all have never been.
Yeah, kids in the front. It's all about y'all. You're back up.
Yeah, after that meeting.
If you can't see the camera, the camera can't see you.
This is what you do not do at work right
Okay, still can't really see, there's a, actually, yeah, there you go. Yeah, put your head around like that, okay. All right, perfect, we're gonna take a bunch, just in case somebody blinks or is not looking, so here we go, just keep smiling. Go Vikings. Couple more.
All right, if anyone needs to leave, now's your chance. I'll hold it for about 30 seconds. Good. Sergeant of Arms. Now we know who to appoint.
Give him a little badge or something.
All right, very good. All right, colleagues, let's go ahead and move on through the agenda. Section 5 will be public comment, agenda items only, and Ms. Mary, we have no cards tonight, okay. Section 6, committee and staff reports, 6.1 in-county travel paid for October 2023. And now I'm looking at this one. This is this an action item? I don't believe so.
No, sir.
Is it? No, it's not. Okay, 6.2, out of county travel paid for October 2023. And then 6.3, career and technical education update. We had that earlier today. And then 6.4, quarterly progress report of the Sales Tax Citizens Oversight Committee presented by Mr. Jason Belcher, committee chairman. Hey, Mr. Belcher, welcome. Thank you for being here.
We're always
Thank
happy to
you.
see you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members, Mr. Chambers. Appreciate the opportunity to give you an update on the work of our committee. I'll say first that we've had 2 meetings since I believe the last time I addressed this board in September and in November. Very productive. As we closed our year, I think the comprehensive review that we get each time by Jacobs Titan, by Mr. Joel, has aided us greatly in helping to educate the community on the work that the district's doing and that the board's doing at improving our facilities with the half-cent sales tax. The goal of the program, the initiative when it was passed, was to make generational change to the buildings and facilities that we have, and I think we're seeing that come to pass. And by God's grace, it has accelerated, and we have been able to actually collect. Y'all know this well, not we, our committee, but we as a community to collect at a higher rate than we first anticipated, so it's allowed us the chance to accelerate some projects, which has been vital to seeing some of these things come to pass. I think one of the things I wanted our committee to accomplish this year was to make site visits. It's one thing to sit at the tables in this room and discuss what's being done. It's another thing to make a visit and actually see. And thanks to everyone at the district, especially my friend Catherine, who arranged most of this, I think we have 8 site visits, is that right? Don't hold me to that number, but it's around that number. I made several myself at the various, especially the large projects that have been going on. And that, I believe, has given us even greater insight as members of the committee to be able to speak to the community about the good works being done. I know hearing the principals at Laurel Hill and at Baker and at Edwards talk about the change that's going to take place at their facilities and for their students, and to hear it in their own words and to see the actual good work being done gives us better color and better understanding, and also to some degree the hole from which we had to dig ourselves out of as a community. So we appreciate that greatly, and especially the hard work of everyone else that's contributed to that. I think my members have shown their approval of the work being done, because to a person of those who are regular attenders, I've got a commitment not only to keep my board intact for the next year, but most, if not all, to a person said that they would stay for the duration of the project. So very happy about that. Whenever you get someone who will volunteer to do something for as many as 7 more years, you must be doing something well, and it's not me. It's the work that y'all are doing. I'll say that also at our last meeting, there were some good questions and some excellent information provided by Mr. Horton about the addition of projects. Because we are running ahead of schedule on collections, there is some balance that y'all are striking between adding some additional projects and still completing everything that we committed to do with the initial funds in the first 10 years of the sales tax. Those projects seem to be moving along well, many of them ahead of schedule, taking opportunities when they're provided, when we have the right contractors in place to be able to do additional work, makes sense. I know this from a commercial standpoint, that if you've got a contractor on site and there's something that needs to be done and they are able to do so, you can oftentimes strike a much better deal or get that done much more cheaply than trying to wait just to hold to the letter of the law. So Mr. Steve did a great job of helping our members understand some of the newer projects that are coming on and listening to, I wouldn't say concerns, that's not the right word, but the caution in some of their voices about making sure we got that first list of projects done, what we've committed to, that we would carry through. That is primarily our responsibility as oversight, is to throw a red flag up to you if we think that you're moving in a direction that doesn't make sense for the community, or maybe not be in keeping with the spirit or the actual intent of the legislation. And from our perspective, we could not be more pleased. We appreciated what we heard. I think our group left with confidence about the direction that it's going even for this next year, so I'm excited about continuing to serve. I believe they'll keep me on as chairman, which may be their only bad decision that they've made so far. And we do have 2 open posts that I believe we're getting suggestions on filling for membership, which would be good. But across the board, I think I can speak for every one of the members of our committee that we're pleased with the direction we're going, and I'm here to answer any questions if you have any about our work. And I apologize if I step out immediately afterwards. It's only because this meeting falls on the same night as another meeting I have, and so leaving is in no way an indictment on the rest of the agenda. I know it's very important, but.
Well, Mr. Belcher, I just want to say, and I know that my colleagues feel the same, that we're very grateful to you and your dedication to public service and helping all these kids and helping the school system move forward. So thank you, and thank your committee for all of that, and we're just very grateful.
To a person, we believe that's our duty. There's a passage, it's repeated at least twice in the New Testament that says that we're to let our light so shine before men that they will see our good works and glorify our Father on the day of his visitation. I think in some shape or form or fashion, all of our committee members appreciate the work that's being done, and so our small contribution is only here to assist. And the direction you're going is good. If it doesn't go good, we'll let you know. We will say so. But
Good.
these 3 years have been excellent for us, and so I thank y'all. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
for all
Thank
your
you
hard
for
work.
being
Thank you,
here.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chambers, for sure.
Thank
Sir.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, so that takes us down to the consent agenda, and we all know this is an action item, so I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant to
I'll
approve
second
the
it.
consent, second by Ms. Vancheck. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, Section 8, Superintendent's Human Resources Recommendations, 8.1, information only. Employees on administrative leave, presented by Dr. Hale, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources. 8.2, out-of-field report for 23-24 school year, presented by Ms. Duron, Program Director, Professional Services, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. We need a motion.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Vancheck,
Second.
second by Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Seeing and hearing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.3, Maintenance Department Restructure, presented by Dr. Hale, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources, and recommended by the Superintendent. Need a motion.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Bryant.
I'll second.
Second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? There's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.4, Employment Separations, presented by Dr. Hale, Assistant Superintendent, and recommended by the Superintendent. Need a motion?
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Gardner.
I'll second it.
Second by Mrs. Vancheck. Any discussion? There's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.5, Personnel Recommendations, presented by Dr. Hale, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources, and recommended by the Superintendent. Need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
I'll second.
That's close. Second by Dr.
We
Kelly.
tied.
Any discussion? There's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Carries 5-0. 8.6, Employee Transfers, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the Superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
Second.
Second by Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? There's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.7 was deleted. 8.8, Leave Without Pay, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the Superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant.
Second.
Second by Ms. Vancheck. Any discussion? All right, there's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 8.9, reinstatement reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, medical examination, presented by Dr. Hale and recommended by the superintendent. Need a motion?
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Gardner,
Second.
second by Mr. Bryan. Any discussion? There's none, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion
Aye.
carries 5-0. Discussion agenda, no items removed. Section 10, program status report by the board's representative to the construction program.
I'm with you.
Okay, so
Dr.
we
Kelly?
met this morning, and
Okay.
I do have some handouts for my colleagues here. So Mr. Chambers and Attorney, and going all the way down, Miss Mary, I have one for you as well. I'll try to make this brief. We did meet for about 2 hours there. It's because is, as Jason Belcher said, there's a lot of work going on in our district, and we're very pleased that we can do that and give this report to you. So because there is a lot, let's start with those that are active task orders. So let's move on to the second page, task order 4. This was the Baker School kitchen renovation and the prior school renovation there. Those are completed and under warranty. Some of these were on tonight's agenda, so we'll speak about them briefly. Task order number 12, the district-wide sales tax construction projects. The multipurpose buildings at Fort Walton Beach High School is effectively done, and hopefully those students can be in there after the break. Crestview High School, the HVAC units were started up. The storm structure was installed to finish the storm sewer piping for that project, and the epoxy flooring was installed, and we hope that the floor will begin by the end of the month. And we are waiting for the students to be relieved at the holiday to do some of that site work. At Baker School, the interior painting has been completed, the ductwork installation was completed, and the ceramic tile was installed on the restroom walls. The site grading has been completed, and the form work for the sidewalks has been installed. On a plus there, Florida Power and Light got the transformers in earlier than expected, so that was an early Christmas present there for Baker, Ms. Savanchik. Chattahoochee High School, the installation of plywood and gypsum board on the multipurpose room walls was complete, and that finishing is ongoing. The window frame installation was complete, and the ductwork installation has begun. At Niceville High School, the erection of the pre-engineered metal building structure was complete. Now the mezzanine structure has been installed, and the electrical conduit rough-in work has begun. At Laurel Hill, new water service piping and valves were installed, and the underslab rough-in for the plumbing has been complete. The classroom additions, all are done and all are in use. How wonderful is that we can say at Silver Sands, Elliott Point, Crestview, and Laurel Hill. Those projects are done. The cafetoriums. At Edwins, the brick veneer installation has begun and the gypsum wall installation is ongoing. At Wright Elementary, the installation of exterior sheeting was complete, and they are ready for the brick exterior. They're just waiting for the crew to finish at Edwins before they can move them over to Wright and work there. At Ruckle Middle School, the roof insulation and ice and water shield barrier were installed. The HVAC, plumbing, and electrical and fire protection work is ongoing. The steel support structure for the folding partition has been installed, and the brick veneer installation has begun there as well. At Plew Elementary, the interior and exterior wall framing is ongoing, and the HVAC, plumbing, electrical, and fire protection rough-in work is going on now. At Bob Sykes Elementary, the grease straps were installed, and the underslab rough-in work is going on now. In Shalimar, the rough trusses and decking were installed after the structural steel frame was in place. The exterior framing has begun. That has just begun because, as in many cases, we had to wait for that metal material to arrive. The dining room expansion projects, Crestview High School, that project is complete. That brings us to task order 13. I told you I'd try to be quick because there are 42 of these. Task order 13, time and materials, we're going to move that one and speak about it at task order 24 because it's been combined now. Task order 15, gym floor replacements at Davidson, Crestview, and Lewis. The Covington group, we have them coming in maybe at the holidays to give us give us an extra coat on those gym floors. That's an extra provided to us by our TPO, and we are grateful to them for providing us extras when they can. Task Order 16, roofing and canopy projects at Choctaw and at Lewis. The Phase 1 work at Lewis and Choctaw on their roofs is 100% complete. The Phase 2 foundation work has been completed at both Choctaw and Lewis, but both projects are awaiting fabrication and delivery of steel structures. Task Order 17 is done and under warranty, so we'll move on to Task Order 19, Richburg Building 12 renovations. That underslab rough-in work was completed and poured. A new site water line was installed with installation valves, and that was for maintenance purposes. The walkway canopy has been replaced as well there. Task Order 20, there's a few here, so I'll just give you the brief on those. Longwood, the roof replacement is complete. Laurel Hill had 4 roofs, that's complete, only waiting the edge metal roof and gutter downspouts. Richburg roofing is complete. Crestview High work at Building 8 and cafeteria are complete. The roofing coating projects at Fort Walton Beach are progressing with the gym and surrounding roofs complete. We'd say that's about 75% of that campus, with 50% being complete. Work at Silver Sands, 60% of that project is done, and they're trying to wrap that one up by the year end. As you can imagine, the weather has been a holdup with getting that one complete. Material has been delivered for the projects at Niceville, 4 roof areas, and at Ruckle, that was 3 roofs, and that work will begin shortly. Task Order 21, Longwood Elementary renovation, that we approved tonight. Those classroom renovations are complete with remaining painting to be done during the break. Task Order 22, district-wide ADA sidewalks. The vast majority of that project has been completed, but a little bit is ongoing. Task Order 23, that's the time and materials high school auditorium upgrades, primarily at Crestview. That is being coordinated to work in February when that material arrives. That is very hard to schedule because students are in there all the time, as you know, Mr. Bryant. Task Order 24, that's the Central Admin Complex renovation Phase 1, which was on our agenda tonight. That framing is complete. The electrical and plumbing rough-in is complete. The gypsum board installation is ongoing, and we are waiting on the spray foam installation, which hopefully can be done during the break. Task Order 25, district-wide stadium repairs. That work is complete, except for minor repairs at Choctaw. Task Order 27, Bruner Middle School chilled water piping and HVAC project. Those design drawings are being reviewed and prepped right now, and as soon as those have been completed, they will be reviewed and probably put before us for approval. Task Order 28, district-wide Phase 2 security upgrades. As you guys know, that's constantly ongoing. Task Order 29, CTE renovations at Crestview and the Titan building in Fort Walton Beach. And work at the Crestview AI lab is also under design. Task Order 30, time and materials for the new electrical services at Lewis and at Crestview and upgrades at Niceville. The work at Niceville and Crestview is complete. The additional work at Crestview Stadium has been designed, and those materials are being ordered now. Task Order 31, Laurel Hill School Sewage Treatment Facility, that is under design. Task Order 32, Blue Elementary and Kenwood Elementary roof replacement programs. Those designs are complete, and estimating is going on in advance of a GMP, which will be submitted to us early in 2024. Task Order 33, press box, concession, and restroom buildings at Fort Walton, at Crestview and Lewis, with slight modifications. The architectural designs for those 2-story press box and concessions and restroom projects are being completed right now. The MEP, which is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, those design efforts are underway as we speak. Task Order 34, sales tax projects at Meigs and Destin for more efficient layouts. Those initial designs and the old front office areas are underway. The dining room furniture for Destin Middle is complete, and the scope of work for the kitchen at Destin Middle is further being defined right now. Task Order 35, new Crestview K-8 and Destin Elementary 4 and 5th grade center. As you heard this morning at our workshop, the updates to the purchase of property, the timing of that couldn't be better because with the new acreage, that allows us some more additional options. But the civil engineer design work for Crestview K-8 will progress over the holidays for review in early 2024, as well as the Destin Elementary 3 through 5 center.
And Dr. Kelly, will that be 3, 3rd, 4th, and 5th? Will that be updated to
Yes.
that? Okay. Thank you, sorry.
Yeah, of course, stop me anytime. I'm just trying to move us through here. Task Order 36, not to say that I could answer those questions, but I know who in the room could. Task Order 36, time and materials concrete repair at the ramp schools. That is ongoing. Task Order 37, sales tax HVAC projects, which coordinated with our 10.2, which was approved tonight. The new Crestview High School chiller has been ordered, and the design for the rest of that project continues, as well as a solution for Mary Esther Elementary that has been developed, and that design work is ongoing. Fort Walton Beach High School's cooling tower proposal was received, and that equipment will be ordered once it's approved by this board. Additional above-ceiling chilled water piping installation at Niceville High School is being ordered and considered as a scope modification. Task Order 38, district-wide fine and performing arts facility improvements, both at Crestview and Niceville. Initial meetings have occurred at each campus, and initial designs are being created. Those are primarily restroom and storage areas. Task Order 39, district-wide parking and paving projects. That design work is ongoing with additional surveying work required at a couple of those sites. Maybe we should add Antioch's pickup line after our discussion today as well. Task Order number 40, roof replacement projects at Meigs Middle and Pryor Middle. Those initial site visits have been completed, and that design work has begun. Close to the end, guys. Task Order number 41 on the last page, time and materials district-wide food services upgrades. Initial design work is ongoing for the first project at Kenwood. Site visits have been completed, and a preliminary design has been developed. Task Order 42, time and materials Pryor Middle School flooring replacement. That preliminary design work is underway with the color selections for flooring scheduled for this week. That work is scheduled to occur next summer due to the timeline required for air quality testing and remediation after that work is completed. And that's all that I have.
Dr. White, can I ask Dr. Kelly a question
Sure.
regarding task order number 39? And I heard Antioch in there, so I know Antioch very well, and it's a mess down there right now because of all the construction. Am I understanding we're going to look at something before that roundabout and everything is done?
We spent 30 minutes or more talking about that in our meeting
Yeah.
today with maps. Everybody had their own maps, and we talked about that new roundabout.
I know, right. I know the next 2 years are going to be very, let's just say, if you're a parent at Antioch, or you work at Antioch, or you travel PJ Adams or Antioch, that whole area up there is going to be a challenge. So I see Dr. Smith is going to come up and kind of.
Could be a stressful
Yes.
situation. But they have a plan.
Yes.
Last week, we had a meeting with the consultants from DOT in reference to the installation of the roundabout, which will go on PJ Adams. This is our second meeting. We had one about a year ago. We told them what was going to happen when they put the roundabout in. They went and evaluated, counted cars, measured lines, and said, yes, you're right. And we've got to come up with something, and that's what we plan on doing, and to trying to get those cars up closer, because we're going to go from about 1,400 feet of cars to about 500 when the roundabout moves to the west, which is closer to the school. And we will design something and see what we can do to remedy that problem before it occurs.
So, quick question regarding Whitehurst Lane. Now, I believe that's the city road there, dealing with the county, dealing with the state. So we can imagine the amount of voices that are in here. But the Whitehurst Lane was something that had concerned me regarding, are we going to be able to get that? Because a lot of people use that as an off-ramp anyway to wait to go pick up their children. So
And the nice thing in the buying of right-of-way for the new bypass, they bought all the property to the northeast of Whitehurst Lane. So that big peninsula, which used to be privately owned,
Right.
is now all state right-of-way.
which is where they have all their construction
which is
material
where
right
I'll,
now. Yeah.
which could possibly be used. I have a meeting coming up with the city to talk to them about using that as a stacking area or extending the bus ramp in the back to stack cars down there.
Dr. Kelly, on task order 42,
Wait, Bill.
oh, no, it's more of a typo, I think.
Okay.
It says time and material approved on October 23rd, 2024.
It should be 2023.
Okay, I just, for the record, make sure. That's just-
All right. Dr. Kelly, thank you for
Oh, you're welcome.
this work on this committee and all these things, and it shows the progress
Wow.
that the school district is making.
Absolutely.
Yeah, lot going
Marching right
on.
along.
It's amazing.
We're keeping a lot of people employed in Oakland County.
Yeah, that's good.
It's really good. Thank you so much for your report.
But isn't it wonderful to see buildings that 4 of the 5 of us board members have actually lived part of our lives in our careers, to see the updates that those buildings have needed since before we started working in them.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
it's just remarkable to me. I'm very grateful.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right, colleagues. So the next few items will all require individual motions. So we're at 10.2, funding and owner direct purchase of for Fort Walton Beach High School cooling tower for the pre-GMP phase of task order number 37, presented by Dr. Smith and recommended by the superintendent. So I need a motion.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Gardner,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Vancheck. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 10.3, authorization for professional services for CMI for price validation for program number 6, task order number 12, scope mod number 1, sales tax COP projects, presented by Dr. Smith and recommended by the superintendent.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 10.4, authorization for professional services for CMI price validation for TPM program number 6, task orders and scope mods, presented by Dr. Smith and recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Vancheck,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 10.5, TPM program number 6, task order number 16, scope mod number 3 of phase 2, Lewis School and Choctawhatchee High School front entry projects, presented by Dr. Smith and recommended by the superintendent. Need a motion.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Bryant.
Second.
Second by Ms. Gardner. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 10.6, TPM program number 6, task order number 21, scope mod number 1, Longwood classroom renovation project, presented by Dr. Smith and recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move it.
Motion, Dr. Kelly.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bryan. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. 10.7, TPM program number 6, task order number 24, scope mod number 2, central admin complex renovation project, presented by Dr. Smith and recommended by the superintendent.
I'll move it.
Motion by Ms. Gardner,
Second.
second by Mr. Bryan. Any discussion? As there's none, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. All right, Mr. Attorney, your business, sir.
No report tonight.
Thank you, sir. Superintendent, your business.
Thank you. As you know, shared information this morning, but during that time, we also received word from the Department of Education that school grades came out today and district grades came out today. And as you can imagine, we feverishly started going through that information and through that data. And I do want to just give you just a little bit of a preliminary information, and more information will come. And the 2023 baseline school grades were released today. And the results are highly encouraging. And that this was the first year of the new state assessment. And as a district, we, again, earned an A rating. And I want to pause there for 1 second and say I could not be more proud of our students. And as you know, I think we tout our students to go up against anybody. But also our teachers, staff, and administrators at the school level who work so hard each and every day. But I also want to say to our district staff, Ms. Lightbourne, our senior staff, we talk up here about OCSD family, and it takes everybody together working to do things as a school district. I always say that we're definitely not a perfect school district, but we definitely strive to work hard. And we talk about gears. It's everybody working together in the betterment of students. When you do that, some good things will happen. So we were rated an A district, but also last year we earned 63% of the points available, and this year 68% of the points available. So a 5% increase. Again, extremely proud. Do want to give just a little bit of information. No schools dropped a letter grade. No schools dropped, but we did have 10 schools increase their grade from a C to a B or a B to an A. Specifically, Laurel Hill, Edge, Florosa, they each earned an A this year after having been a B the previous year. Bob Sykes, Riverside, Wright, Shalimar, Elliott Point, Mariester, and Kidwood all improved from a C to a B. We do have 4 schools that did receive an I, and a 5th being the Destin Charter School as well. So we had Fort Walton Beach, Choctaw, Eglin, and Crestview. So we are looking into that at the state level. If you remember last year, we had some schools who received an I, and they later received a letter grade. The likelihood is you have to have 95% of students test, and if you don't reach that mark, you automatically get an I, you appeal to the state, and then you await that decision. Last year, we successfully appealed. So we'll find out more about the I. And again, this is the first year of the new state assessment. And one of the things that was not in there this year, it was learning gains. And learning gains, as you know, many of our schools, that's where they really excel. So without those points, to still see the growth, to still see the excellence, I couldn't be more proud. I think when the learning gains are a part of the calculation, we'll see even greater success for our students. But I wanted to just give you just a little bit of that information because it came out. We will put this out publicly, even more so tomorrow. So just appreciate Ms. Lightboard, Mr. Horton getting right on this with Ms. Card to be able to put this together, which you'll see a nice media release tomorrow. And again, this is on the backs of our students and our teachers and staff and administrators of what they do each day in this school district.
Anything else, Superintendent?
That is it.
Yeah, well, that's great news. So,
Yeah, that's
so
a way
thank
to
you-
end it
Thank you
right
for
there.
that, yeah. All right, so we'll go ahead and move to section 13, and before we do board members' business again, let's go ahead and do 13.2, and that would be the appointment of a board member to serve on the new state law regarding RFP Committee for Audits. And Dr. Kelly is willing to serve in that capacity, and so we need to formalize that unless there's someone else that really wants to do it.
Dr. White?
Yes, sir.
In order to spare the
fight
here, I will go ahead and nominate
And I'll be
Dr.
happy
Kelly.
to, I'll second.
Thank you so much.
All right,
We'll move
okay,
this right
so.
I can always count on my peers.
Yeah. So,
Thank you, Dr. Kelly.
In that situation, then
honor.
we have a motion by Mr. Bryant and then a second by Ms. Gardner for Dr. Kelly to serve on this committee. So, any further discussion? All right, since there's not, then let's go ahead and vote. All in favor?
Aye.
And Superintendent Ms. Perry's not here, and of course, she's our expert regarding RFPs and that kind of thing, particularly regarding finance. And I think there's some other committee members that need to be appointed, so I'm hoping that you'll work with her. And I've been told that if you can bring those committee membership recommendations back to us in our first meeting, that after we return from the holidays, that we'll be able to meet all the timelines that they need to get this thing in place.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right, very good, thank you. All right, so now let's go ahead and back up to 13.1, board members' business. Now, we've done this once today, but I think there's still some things that folks may want to share. So let me start with Ms. Gardner.
Well, I just want to add my congratulations along with Mr. Chambers. That was great news. I just happened to be listening to Channel 3 when all of that came out, and I just, again, not aware that it was coming out today, and just so excited and so proud of Okaloosa County. And as you said, it takes a team, a village, and it's every employee in Okaloosa County, but our students, They performed, our curriculum department, everyone. And I just couldn't be more proud of the increase in certain schools that I saw that went up a letter grade. And some of those schools are very difficult to bring up. So I think it's a great way to go out for our winter holidays and great Christmas present or for all. But just wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Be safe. We'll come back around second semester, and we know how fast first semester went, and second semester always seems to go quicker. So we'll be kicking off 2024 when we arrive. But congratulations to everybody in Okaloosa County. And let me add the parents and the community. I mean, everybody.
Sure.
We couldn't do it without our community support.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you, Ms. Gardner. Ms. Vanchek? anything?
Yes, I had several this morning, but one quick thing I want to mention about the Baker ROTC. They sent 3 teams to state competition and did quite well. And one I want to particularly talk about is the girls, all-girls team that trophied in state. And I just want to point out what they had to do. These ladies had to carry 2 25-pound kettlebells 100 yards. And they trophied in that, got the top thing, and so that's pretty good. So I want to congratulate the ROTC and all that. And also I want to say to my colleagues that 2023 has been a pleasure to work with you. Hearing what we did tonight between the construction and the grades shows you the success of our district. 23 has been a good year, but I think we're going to see even better things in 2024, and I'm looking forward to starting off that year with all of you, and wish you all a great holiday season as well as everyone out there, and remind everybody that the students will get out early that last day, and also some high schools have some change of schedule getting out early that last week too. So just look on the website for your school, and I'm sure they're sending it out in their newsletters as well. But I think it's exciting to go into 2024. I'm looking forward to it.
I
Thank you
always
so
want
much.
to say that the number of people we had here tonight just goes to show the team that we have, the different individuals that were here to support our new principals and those that we were being recognized. I do have to say there was a sea of red out there, but I think that, and here we are right before Christmas holidays, and you have teachers and people that are out to support our new appointees. So it's just, it is a team, it's a village.
Very good. All right, thank you both. All right, Mr. Bryant.
Thank you very much, Dr. White. Just to update, while we were doing the workshop this morning, I did receive a message from Dr. Rudman's office, and I'll be meeting with him at noon tomorrow in Tallahassee. So just pray for me as I make the drive over there to represent our district. But it's, it's session now. The session's getting ready to start in October or January, but a lot of moving parts right now. But it's an honor to represent our school district to go over there, and just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season to all, and a Happy New Year. Looking forward to an exciting 2024.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, Dr. Kelly.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. White. I made quite a few announcements this morning, and I've spoken at length about our fabulous construction projects that are happening all over this district, so I'm very proud of those as well. But I'll just add a final note of congratulations as well about our A+ standing as a district, and our schools who worked so hard, the students, the parents, the teachers certainly, administration and district staff as well. Everybody pulling the same load, everybody pulling in the same direction for the same result. So we hit the mark, and I'm so proud of all of you. I couldn't be prouder. In fact, everybody just worked so hard and pulling those students up, helping them achieve above and beyond. So I'm incredibly grateful for everything everybody does there. And then lastly, I'll just say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly. And Superintendent, I'll convey my congratulations to you and your staff and all of our teachers and students and parents and community for maintaining the standard that was set so long ago, as you said. And it's tough. I mean, that many years to be in a school, but your expectations that we continue to perform, those make the difference, and I know that we're all grateful and the community's grateful for the learning that's taking place in our schools. So thank you for that, and thank you to your staff. I'll also say Merry Christmas to everyone. And as you said, it's hard to believe, but that's right. We'll be in 2024.
2024.
And it will go fast. All right, let's go ahead and move to Section 14, Public Comment. General public comments, this will be yellow card. Members of the public desiring to address the school board with general comments, Form 6120, public comments, yellow card. Any yellow cards, Ms. Mary? Okay. All right, so we've gone through our public hearings, and we get to Section 16.1, that's adjournment, unless Superintendent, Mr. Attorney, is there anything else that we need to cover? Anything else from staff? Anybody? All right, this meeting is adjourned.